Hi guys. Today we're going to talk about some things as far as what I'm seeing on your website that I think we can do better. We're going to focus on pictures today. So that's what I want to talk to you about. The first thing I'm going to show you is logging into my website. Once again, it's here on wix.com. I'm already logged in, so I'm going to click on it and it'll open up the editor where you can make changes. And my website, I hope you guys remember, is about Icelandic sagas because that's what I love. And here's what I've started. As you can see, I've got a really pretty picture of a sunset in the middle here, and this was taken in Iceland. And my background is a little bit plain, but I'm going to show you why that's actually a good thing. The text here is really easy to read, and it's really easy to see the design that I have going because the background doesn't interfere. Okay, but let's say I want to do something a little bit more interesting with my background. It's a little bit boring. There, I said it. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to say Viking because that's what my website's about. Okay, what I'm going to do, look through my choices. If I click on images at the top, what about this guy? He looks pretty cool. So I'm going to right click and say Save Image As. I'm going to rename it Viking because that's easy to find, and I'm going to save it on my desktop so I know where it is. And I'm going to say Save, and it's going to go ahead and save for me. Okay, now we can go back to our website. You're going to choose Design, Background, Customize Background, Add Image. And I don't have it uploaded yet, so I'm going to go ahead and upload images and find the file, which is on my desktop. Open, and you can see it loading there. Okay, there it goes again, and I'm going to say Change Background. Whoa, this is a big difference. Okay, as you can see, the picture that I've chosen is too small, so it's tiling, it's repeating itself across the screen to fill up the whole space. If you're seeing that happen with yours and you want to make a change, you can go to Customize Background and choose a different option here. I'm going to say Full Screen, and already you can see what's happened. This is something I've noticed on a lot of your websites. If you take a look at it, the picture is actually very small, so it's poor quality. The edges are blurry, it's difficult to see properly, especially some of you who have photographs in the background. It can be very fuzzy to look at. Also, another thing I want to point out with this picture, the background of the picture is white, so now it's become very difficult to read my website. It's a little bit harder to see the text that's here because of the Viking's horn that's in the back. Okay, anything that makes the eyes tired if the picture is fuzzy, or makes the eyes strain themselves where you're trying to read the text here but it's too difficult, that's going to turn someone off. They're going to decide, well, maybe it's better if I look at a different website. What you want to do is make sure your website looks as good as it can and is as easy to read as it can be, because your job as the designer is to make sure that people can take information away from your website. And if you make that too difficult, they're going to close the window and try again with another. Okay, so if you're in a situation where you have a fuzzy picture in the background, I'd like you to fix it. So you go to Design, Background, Customize Background, and the first thing you can do is Remove Image. That'll take you to whatever was the default color in the background. One way to make sure that you don't have a fuzzy picture in the background is to go ahead and choose just one color. You can pick a color from the color picker right here. Or, let's see, there's also, you can add an image, but if you're going to do a Google search for an image to use, what you can do is, for example, Viking wallpaper. This is automatically going to give you larger, more high quality images. Now that I have a photo of a longboat that I like, and maybe I'm going to put in my background or somewhere else on my website, I'm going to go ahead and save it. But I can already see right here, just by looking at the thumbnail, that this version of it is blurry. So what I'm going to do is say visit page, and then I'm going to click on this, and this tells you right away 1539 by 1090 pixels. That is a large picture. So if we click on it, ooh, we can see that's very high quality. And in fact, it's so high quality, now I can see that this is actually a painting and not a picture like I first thought. So now that we've got this large version, and we can even make it larger, you can see that my cursor is turned into a magnifying glass. Anytime you see that, you have the option to minimize or maximize a picture. If we click on it, it's even bigger. So I'm going to right click on the photo, I'm going to say save image as, I'm going to say HD Longship, so I know I've got a high quality image here. And it's going to be saved to the desktop. And as soon as I've got that, I can go back to my website and I can see what it will be like if I put it in the background. Customize background on the paintbrush, add image, upload image. It was called HD Longship, and I'm going to open it up. It may take a little bit of time because it's a very large image, but that's okay. We're ready to wait for it if we have to. Say change background. And there you can see it's actually quite nice. I don't mind this. The photo looks lovely, or the image in the background looks lovely. It's not blurry at all. But a problem you see right away is that my brown text doesn't show up very well. So what I can do now is maybe play with my text a little bit. Change the color maybe to white. I'm going to highlight it and I'm going to change it to white here. On the toolbar that appears when you click Edit Text, these are the colors. Okay, maybe I want to change the color of this to white as well. And it's a little bit easier to read. You want to do everything you can to make, whoops, I don't want to change that image. You want to do everything that you can to make it as easy as possible for you to get your information across to your customers. It's very important that they can take information away from your website, that you can teach them something. All of you guys have done a lot of research, are really excited about your topics, and I think it would be a huge shame if at the very end of the process you were to stumble and not be able to share something wonderful with people who look at your website just because we didn't think about design enough and it's too difficult to read. I think that white is fine for this text, but actually I kind of prefer it plain myself. So I'm going to say edit text once again. I'm going to highlight the words and I'm going to go ahead and change it back to brown. And I think it was this color. Oh, actually it says default right there so you can tell. I'm going to change this back to brown as well, default. Okay, and maybe I decide I don't like my longboat back there. First of all, I really like to have this picture, and the picture is large and it cuts right across the figures of the men in the boat. It's not really a very nice photo if you can't see it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to design, click background, customize background, and say remove image. I think in this case, for me, simpler is better. So now I want to talk about the photographs that are actually on your website. I know some of you guys have uploaded photos. As long as you guys make sure that they're high quality, I have no problem with that. As long as they're not blurry, I don't mind at all. So, unfortunately though, one thing we do have to be careful of is being fair and giving credit to those who took the photos. We don't take the photos that are on our website. You are more than welcome to take photographs and upload your own work if you like. But for example, this wonderful photo of the Icelandic countryside wasn't taken by me. It was actually taken by a friend of mine named Tara Kayberry, who is an excellent photographer. And it was so pretty, I just had to put it on my website. Anytime that you have a photo that's not yours, I want you guys to make sure that you credit the person responsible for the photo. And the way that we're going to do that is to click the plus sign and choose text, choose paragraph, and scoot down to the bottom of every photo. I want you guys to edit the text and say source, the source for your photo. The source for me is Tara Kayberry. I happen to know her name. I'm going to highlight her name and I'm going to make it a link. Click the chain on the side, link. I'm going to link to a web address, and what I'm going to do is link to her Facebook because I believe that's where this photo came from. That's where I took it. Okay, Miss Tara Kayberry's Facebook is right there. I'm going to Control C the URL. I'm going to go back to my website and Control V so that it will paste it in and say OK. Now, anytime you put a link in, I want you guys to make sure to check it so you know that it works. Go up to Preview and click. And this is what the website looks like to anybody who comes on and looks at it after it's published. Click on Tara Kayberry and a new window should open. There it is. It takes you right to her Facebook page, so we know the proper person has been credited for this beautiful photo. Now, I know you guys don't actually know where a majority of your photos came from in terms of the person who took them, so I want you to credit the website. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go back to editor so that we can change this. Say edit text. And let's say I'm going to change the image and I'm going to use this beautiful long ship photo because that's lovely too. Oh, it looks so nice there in the middle instead of stretched all across the background. I like that so much. So we have our longboat image instead, and what we're going to do is credit the location where it came from. I'm going to click the back button so I can see what website it is. Normally a website will have a big title up at the top somewhere where you can see it. This one doesn't, so we're going to use the title that's given in the URL at the top of the page. This page is called wallsforjoy.com. I'm going to go ahead and copy the URL by doing Control C. We go back to our website, and instead of Tara Kayberry, because she's not the person who took this photo, we're going to say Walls for Joy, just like the URL. The link, of course, will have to be changed. Highlight the name and click the chain link. We're going to delete that, and we're going to say Control V to put in the new URL. And we say OK, and now that website where we got this fabulous picture of a longboat is credited for its work. Okay, we're going to double check our link and make sure we typed it in or put it in correctly by clicking Preview. And if we click on Walls for Joy, there we go. We're taken directly to the page where we got this photo. It's very important to give credit where credit's due, because if you don't do that, it looks like you're claiming that the photo is yours, and we don't like to steal anything. That's not very fair to the people who make these photos. Okay, and that's about it, guys. We've talked about design, we've talked about backgrounds, we've talked about how to properly credit a photo. So today I want you to focus on your photographs, your images on your site. Make sure they look beautiful, not blurry, that they don't obscure the words and the beautiful things that you've put on your website. We want to make our website look as good as possible so that people like to look at it. It's as simple as that. Have fun, guys. Take care.